ironic that a man who has been arguing for peace in his country for years has just been assassinated? Former Afghan President Rabbani, who served the country from 1992 to 1996, was recently assassinated by Taliban members, according to BBC News on September 20th, 2011. He was serving as head of the Afghan Peace Council. I find it interesting that a lot of peace advocates in history, Martin Luther King Jr., JFK, John Lennon, Malcolm X, Anwar Sadat, have all been fighting for peace in their countries, and they've been assassinated. People haven't really heard much about Rabbani's assassination, and I feel that it's important for us to know about what else is happening in the Middle East on another scale. Also, according to the College of Worcester website, 35 to 40% of students want to go overseas to study abroad, and they should know on a broad scale what is happening in these parts of the world. I'll be talking about how Rabbani's assassination will affect peace in the Middle East. Then I'll be talking about who are the next potential options to lead the peace movement in the Middle East and Afghanistan. And finally, I will discuss how this will affect the United States. Will peace be impossible to achieve? How much more can Afghanistan take? The Daily Beast states that the killing is a serious setback to hopes of striking a negotiated peace with the insurgents. It's now unmistakably clear that powerful elements of the insurgency are adamantly opposed to any peace talks, meaning that they don't want peace, they want war. When citizens of a country begin to lose hope, generally the leaders begin to lose hope too, because there's no morale behind them. The Daily Beast also says that Rabbani's death may completely eliminate the possibility of a negotiated settlement. Who's next to lead the peace movement in Afghanistan? According to Dr. Abdullah in an interview with the New York Times on September 20th, he believes that current Afghan President Hamid Karzai should come in. It is time for Karzai to wake up. These are the people who he calls his dear brothers. They are behind what happened. So Abdullah is saying that President Karzai should take control and say that this is wrong and they need to work out the peace agreement. If Karzai is going to lead, then they're going to have members in the council who they can trust. CNN wrote that Afghan officials have stepped up accusations Sunday that the assassination of the country's Peace Council chairman began with a plot in Pakistan and was carried out by a citizen of the neighboring nation. How does this affect the United States of America? The Miami Herald described two possible options on September 20th. One option was that the death won't throw off any peace talks with the Taliban, meaning President Obama and other U.S. government officials will remain peaceful and continue their diplomatic talks. On the other hand, Major General John Allen says that the Taliban doesn't want peace, but they want war. So it can go either way. However, when Anwar Sadat in 1978, he was president of Egypt at the time, he was assassinated, and people essentially thought the same thing. But Israel and the United States ended up remaining a strong, peaceful ally with Egypt, and nothing really went wrong. And based on the evidence and how things are going, I don't really see much happening with this either. I have discussed how Rabbani's assassination affected peace in the Middle East. Then I talked about who the potential options were to lead the peace movement, and finally I described how it will affect America. Now that you all know about Rabbani's assassination, you understand the importance it not only holds to Afghanistan and the Middle East, but the United States as well. No one wants to go to war with anyone, but Rabbani's assassination could be potentially dangerous. However, President Obama, President Karzai, and other members of the Afghan Peace Council are also doing their best to assure peace for Afghanistan, the Middle East, the USA, and the world.